Writing, composition, architecture, painting, and sculpting. What do all of these have in common? All of these are forms of art, forms of soul expression and primal love. To know these forms of art is to witness prayers to God, all equally glorious but in different ways. These forms of art have to be cultivated to be as high and as prominent as they are. And while creating such work, one must never compromise his integrity. This is because the fine arts themselves are not mere hobbies or pastimes, but rather prayers to God. With this understanding, he who devotes himself to his artistic craft is akin to a Benedictine monk, Hasidic Jew, or hesychast. For all of these devote their entire lives to the Lord and may face extreme disdain from the outside world. I'm not saying that I personally am equally in wisdom to either of the three, for all are sinful creatures, even if they sin in different ways, but rather emphasizing the spiritual nature and immense dedication of each form of the arts. Now, the form of art I have dedicated myself to is the construction of fictional worlds similar to or vastly different from our own. This art, known as world building, has often been relegated to a position secondary to the far more refined and ancient art of storytelling, and throughout most of human history, it was indeed inferior. Now, what have world builders done to prove that they are artists? Not much. Most world builders today have turned their arts into mere fetishes or kinks, often adding in a random obsession with some academic idea that they can't stop talking about, coupled with a political agenda and a desire for profit. This, in and of itself, is a form of the insanity found within modern art, coupled with immense degeneracy. It's no better than the cheapening of movies, games, or books found in modern companies, though these world builders can get away with it because they believe themselves as the little guy just doing a project for fun. While they think of themselves as valid and worthy of appreciation, nothing they say shows them as anything but mere liars. Just as a Reformed Jew isn't really Jewish or pop music isn't really music, modern pop world building isn't really world building, but a spit on the face of great men like Tolkien who built this craft to become what it is now. The arts aren't hobbies. They aren't, oh, I'm doing this one day per week and spending the rest of my life at my job. They are deep passions that require commitment not only to the craft itself, but to God. It is because of this that world builders must bring themselves to a high standard and constantly critique their work, never allowing truth and beauty to fade away. Initially, I wanted to make this a long video where I would go on and on mentioning different rules, but I realized that this would be the wrong approach. Instead, to all my fellow world builders, as long as you seek to build fine art expressing yourselves in the name of God, you're on the right track.